A Boring History Original, Part 1. No one noticed it at first. That was the most terrifying part. January 3rd arrived across the United States exactly the way January mornings always did. Quiet, cold, and obedient. Snow rested on mailboxes in Ohio. Coffee machines hissed awake in New Jersey kitchens. In California, the sun rose lazily over empty highways, as if time itself were stretching before beginning again. Nothing felt wrong, and yet something impossible had already occurred. America had lost an entire day. Not skipped, not delayed, lost. At 6:42 a.m. in Dayton, Ohio, Thomas Collins stood in front of his 11th grade history class, chalk in hand, explaining the same chapter he had taught every January for the last 15 years. The Great Depression. Dates, numbers, causes. He wrote January 3rd on the board, underlining it twice, when a quiet voice interrupted him. "Mr. Collins?" He turned to see Emily Harper, a student who rarely spoke unless she was certain she was right. "Yes, Emily?" She frowned, glancing between her notebook and the wall calendar. "Didn't we already have January 2nd, twice?" Laughter rippled through the room. Thomas smiled out of habit, then froze, because something about the way she said it felt wrong. Not confused, certain. He dismissed the class early, telling them there would be a quiz tomorrow. As the room emptied, he pulled out his planner. It was old-fashioned, paper-bound, something he trusted more than phones. January 2nd appeared once, then again. Same handwriting, same lesson notes, same parent meeting circled in red. His breath slowed. He checked his phone. January 3rd. No alerts, no errors, but his memory stirred uneasily. He remembered teaching yesterday, very clearly, so why did it feel like he had lived it before? 2. In Manhattan, the financial markets opened on time. They always did. Millions of trades executed within seconds. Algorithms danced across glowing screens. The system worked because time worked. Precise, unforgiving, absolute. Until it didn't. At a private analytics firm near Wall Street, junior analyst Marcus Reed stared at his monitor, blinking rapidly. "There's a gap," he said. His supervisor didn't look up. "Then refresh." "I did, 3 times." Marcus turned the screen. A perfect 24-hour absence sat in the middle of global transaction records. No timestamps, no activity, no explanation. Not corruption, not deletion. Absence. "You don't see this," his supervisor said sharply. "But it's there." The man leaned closer, his expression tightening. "This kind of gap doesn't happen, not in one system, and definitely not in all of them." Marcus swallowed. "How do we explain it?" His supervisor straightened. "We don't." 3. At Langley, Virginia, alarms triggered without sound. That alone was unusual. Satellite data flagged a synchronization anomaly across multiple independent systems. Normally, even the smallest drift varied by milliseconds. This time, every satellite showed the same discrepancy. Exactly 24 hours. A young engineer whispered, "That's not drift." The room fell silent. A senior analyst folded his arms slowly. "Say it." She hesitated. It looks like the clocks were reset. To what? To now. Someone else spoke. What if the system corrected itself? The analyst shook his head. Then there would be records of the correction. There were none, only a perfectly missing day. 4. Hospitals noticed next. Doctors depended on time more than anyone. Dosages, procedures, life and death measured in minutes. At Mercy Hospital in Chicago, a surgeon reviewed a patient chart and frowned. The operation was documented. The recovery notes were present, but the date of surgery didn't exist. A nurse said quietly, "I remember that night." "So do I," added another. "It snowed." "But there's no January 2nd in the system," the administrator said. "It jumps straight to the 3rd. Patients began asking questions. Families grew uneasy. Something was wrong, and no one could say what. 5. The internet always noticed last, but when it did, it noticed everything. A Reddit post appeared at 4:17 p.m. Title: "Did America Lose a Day?" The comments exploded. "My security camera skipped 24 hours. My fitness tracker shows no data yesterday. I clearly remember a conversation that technically never happened. Is anyone else freaking out?" Screenshots followed. Calendars, logs, photos with missing timestamps. Different states, different devices, same absence. By evening, the post had crossed 1 million views. 6. The official explanation arrived before midnight. A joint statement blamed a nationwide digital synchronization issue caused by overlapping system updates. Temporary, harmless, corrected. Most people accepted it. They always did. But not everyone. 7. Dr. Eleanor Reeves watched the press conference from her small home in Vermont, her hands folded tightly in her lap. She didn't look surprised. She looked afraid. When the broadcast ended, she stood slowly and walked to a locked metal cabinet she hadn't opened in over 30 years. Inside were notebooks marked classified, theoretical. She opened one. Project Echo Day, a failed proposal suggesting that under extreme circumstances, a localized segment of time could be erased to prevent cascading catastrophe. Not reversed, removed. Time, Eleanor had warned, never forgets being touched. She looked out at the snow-covered woods and whispered, "They did it." At 1 minute before midnight on January 3rd, Eleanor wrote one final sentence in her notebook. "If a day disappears, memory becomes the only evidence it ever existed." Outside, the snow fell softly, just like it had on January 2nd, the day that was gone, the day something happened, and the day history chose to forget.
9. Thomas Collins did not sleep that night. Every time he closed his eyes, the same moment replayed itself. Emily's voice, calm and certain. "Didn't we already have January 2nd? Twice?" At 2:14 a.m., he got out of bed and turned on the lamp. His planner lay open on the desk, the 2 identical entries staring back at him like an accusation. He tried to remember January 2nd, not vaguely, clearly, and to his horror, he could. He remembered the weather, the exact joke he'd made in class, the email he had forgotten to send. These weren't dreams, they were memories. Yet every digital record insisted the day had never existed. Thomas whispered to the empty room, "Then where did I live it?" 10. Across the country, Marcus Reed sat alone in his apartment, laptop open, eyes bloodshot. He had broken every rule, pulled data he wasn't authorized to see, cross-referenced private and public systems, compared timestamps across global servers. The result was always the same: a clean, impossible void. Marcus leaned back slowly. This wasn't a glitch. Glitches were messy. This was precise, intentional. His phone buzzed, a message from an unknown number. "Stop looking." His stomach tightened. He typed back with shaking fingers. "Who is this?" 3 dots appeared, then vanished. The phone went silent. At Langley, the investigation was no longer theoretical. A closed-door meeting had been called. No phones, no recordings, no notes. The director spoke carefully. "We are not discussing whether a day is missing," he said. "We are discussing why only some people remember it." That changed everything. A list appeared on the screen. Teachers, doctors, analysts, engineers. People trained to observe patterns, not random citizens. One analyst spoke quietly. "Selective memory retention." Another finished the thought, meaning the effect wasn't universal. The director nodded, meaning whatever happened didn't fully work. Dr. Eleanor Reeves felt it in her bones. The theory had always warned of this. Time could be altered, but not erased cleanly. Consciousness resisted correction. Some minds slipped through the cracks. She dialed a number she hadn't used in decades. After 4 rings, a voice answered. "I told you this day would come," Eleanor said. Silence. Then, "They promised they'd never use it." "They promised," Eleanor replied, "because they were afraid." And now? Now they were desperate. January 4th arrived, officially. The country moved forward, but something subtle had changed. People missed meetings they swore were scheduled. Children mentioned teachers who didn't recognize them. A man in Texas searched all day for a dog he remembered owning, only to be told he never had one. Small things, unprovable things, but they accumulated, and beneath it all was a growing unease, as if reality itself had been slightly misaligned. Thomas Collins tested a theory. He returned to his classroom early and rewrote the January 2nd lesson exactly as he remembered teaching it. Same words, same examples, same pauses. As he spoke, something strange happened. The students listened too intently. Emily's eyes widened. "That's what you said," she whispered. Thomas froze. "What?" "Yesterday," she said. "That's exactly what you said yesterday." The room went silent. A few students nodded slowly. Thomas felt his heart pound. "How many of you remember January 2nd? 5 hands rose. Out of 26. Not many, but not 0. Marcus Reed stopped checking data. Instead, he started checking people. Online forums, private messages, encrypted chats. He found them. Others who remembered. Others who felt the gap. They described the same sensation, a faint pressure behind the eyes, like a headache that never arrived. One message chilled him. "I remember something bad happened that day. I just don't remember what." At a classified facility deep underground, a countdown clock had been shut off. Project Echo Day was never meant to be used on a national scale. The simulation had warned them. If the event wasn't fully contained, reality would stabilize, but imperfectly. A senior official rubbed his temples. "We had no choice." Another replied, "We always have a choice." What was the alternative? The room fell quiet. No one wanted to say it. Eleanor stood at her kitchen table staring at a photograph she didn't remember taking. It showed her younger self standing beside a man whose face made her chest ache. The date on the back was January 2nd, a day that didn't exist. Her hands trembled. She finally understood the cost. Not destruction, displacement. Lives nudged off their original paths. People spared. Others quietly removed from possibility. On the evening of January 4th, the memories intensified, not clearer, heavier. Thomas dreamed of a classroom filled with smoke. Marcus dreamed of alarms without sound. Eleanor dreamed of a decision being made in a room with no windows. All of them woke up at the same time, 3:17 a.m., miles apart, connected by a truth no one had told them. The missing day wasn't empty. It was erased because something happened, something that couldn't be allowed to finish. A final message appeared on Marcus's phone. No warning, just text. We fixed the timeline. Do not try to remember what we saved you from. Marcus stared at the screen. Saved us from what? Eleanor opened her notebook and wrote one last entry. Time does not delete mistakes, it buries them, and what is buried still shapes the ground above it. Outside, America moved forward, one day at a time, unaware that its future rested on a day that no longer existed, a day only a few could remember, a day history refused to explain.
January 2nd did exist. It existed for 23 hours, 47 minutes, and 11 seconds. At exactly 6:03 a.m. Eastern Time, something went wrong. Or rather, something worked too well. 22. Project Echo Day was never about time travel. That rumor was planted deliberately. The real goal was far more dangerous: predictive reality control. The ability to simulate national-level futures in real time, and then collapse the worst outcome before it finished happening. Not by changing the past, but by interrupting the present. January 2nd was the first full-scale test. 23. At 6:03 a.m., the system went live. Millions of data points flooded in. Markets, military movements, satellite feeds, civilian behavior, social sentiment. The system didn't predict the future, it experienced it, one day ahead. America unknowingly lived January 3rd while thinking it was January 2nd, and what the system saw terrified them. 24. By 11:42 a.m., the simulation flagged a cascade event, a chain reaction. Small decisions, unimportant moments, random encounters, all converging. The final outcome? Nationwide infrastructure failure, civil unrest, a limited nuclear escalation. Not a movie-style apocalypse. Worse, a slow, believable collapse. 25. The trigger wasn't a bomb, or a war, or a president. It was a misinterpreted signal, an automated defense alert generated by outdated satellite calibration, a false positive. But once activated, systems wouldn't wait for human confirmation. The simulation showed it clearly. If January 2nd continued, America would not recover. 26. At 3:16 p.m., the decision was made. The order was spoken once. No vote, no record. Collapse the day. Project Echo Day initiated temporal rollback protocol. Not backwards, sideways. The timeline was forced into the nearest stable version, one where January 2nd never completed. The cost? Every conscious experience already lived had to be overwritten. 27. Most people adjusted instantly. Their minds accepted the correction, but not all. Roughly 3% retained fragments, people whose cognition patterns were resistant to overwrite. Observers, analysts, teachers, children. Those who noticed patterns instead of following them. 28. At 11:59 p.m., January 2nd was terminated. Clocks advanced, servers reset. History smoothed itself out. Officially,
January 1st was followed by January 3rd. 29. But the damage couldn't be fully erased. Some people lost memories. Others lost possibilities. People who would have met didn't. People who would have survived didn't need to. People who would have failed never got the chance. Reality became safer, but thinner. 30. Dr. Eleanor Reeves finally remembered her role. She wasn't just a scientist, she was the architect. She had designed the consciousness overwrite limit. She had warned them, you can delete a day, but you cannot delete the meaning it creates. They had used it anyway. 31. Thomas Collins realized why his students remembered. Classrooms were places of shared attention. When memory overlaps, it reinforces itself. The erased day echoed louder there. That's why children remembered more clearly than adults. They hadn't learned yet how to ignore inconsistency. 28. Marcus Reed discovered something worse. The system wasn't shut down. It was paused. Project Echo Day could be used again. And next time, the erased window wouldn't be a day. It could be a week, a year, a war. 33. A final classified report summarized the operation. Result: successful. Casualties: 0, official. Public awareness: minimal. Moral impact: not measurable. Marcus laughed when he read that last line, because morality wasn't erased, just postponed. 34. On the 5th day after the missing day, Eleanor mailed letters. No return address. Inside each envelope was a single sentence. If you remember January 2nd, you are not broken. Thousands were sent. Hundreds were received. Dozens responded. 35. America moved on. Markets stabilized. News cycles shifted. History books remained clean. But sometimes, at exactly 3:17 a.m., people woke with the same feeling, like something precious had been taken, not violently, carefully. 36. January 2nd was erased to save the future, but the future now rests on a lie, and lies require maintenance, because one day, enough people will remember, and when they do, the question won't be what was erased. The question will be, what else are they willing to delete?
37. They didn't call themselves a group at first. There was no name, no manifesto, no meeting place. Just messages, emails sent at odd hours, encrypted forums hidden behind forgotten domains, handwritten letters scanned and uploaded anonymously, all repeating the same impossible idea. I remember January 2nd. 38. At first, they thought they were alone. A software engineer in Seattle, a nurse in Ohio, a retired Air Force radar technician in Arizona, a high school student in Georgia. Different lives, same missing day. 39. What connected them wasn't memory alone, it was detail. They remembered conversations that never happened, news alerts that never existed, weather patterns that didn't match records. Most terrifying, they remembered decisions, choices they were sure they had made, but reality insisted they hadn't. 40. Dr. Eleanor Reeves watched quietly. She had built Project Echo Day knowing this would happen. No system erases perfectly. There are always residual minds, people whose brains don't compress reality efficiently, people who resist overwrite. In another era, they'd be called prophets. Now, they were liabilities. 41. Inside a secured facility beneath Colorado, a new briefing circulated. Title: Post-Echo Anomalies. The summary was blunt. Memory
persistence higher than expected, risk of narrative fracture increasing. Recommendation: soft containment. Soft containment didn't mean arrests, it meant distraction. Algorithms were adjusted. People who searched for missing day were redirected to fiction forums. Videos discussing timeline inconsistencies were quietly buried. Accounts posting too accurately were flagged, not banned, just diluted. Truth didn't need to be erased, only outnumbered. 43. Marcus Reed resigned. Officially, it was for personal reasons. Unofficially, he could no longer justify guarding a lie that large. He had read the long-term projections. If Project Echo Day was reused, human history would become editable, not by voters, by technicians. 44. Marcus made a choice, a dangerous one. He leaked something small, not documents, not proof, a pattern, a subtle irregularity buried in public datasets. Anyone trained to notice anomalies would see it. Most wouldn't. But the ones who remembered January 2nd, they saw it immediately. 45. The group finally named itself, not dramatically, just practically. The Continuity Archive. Their goal wasn't exposure, it was preservation. They believed something terrifying. If reality can be edited once, it will be edited again. And next time, it might not be to save lives. 46. Children were joining. That wasn't planned, but it was inevitable. Kids noticed things adults ignored. A skipped school day, a class assignment referenced by no calendar, a teacher who looked tired for no reason. Adults rationalized. Children asked questions. 47. One post went viral before it could be buried. A simple sentence shared thousands of times. If January 2nd didn't exist, why do I remember who I was that day? It was deleted within hours, but screenshots live longer than truth. 48. Inside the government, fear returned, not of collapse, but of precedent, because the system had worked too well. The temptation to use it again was growing. A war could be shortened, an election stabilized, a financial crash avoided, all by erasing the right moment. 49. Eleanor received an encrypted message, just coordinates, and a time. She stared at it for a long time. She knew who sent it. Marcus. He wanted to meet, which meant he was ready to stop running. 50. On the night before the meeting, Eleanor wrote one final note. Not encrypted, not hidden. She left it in plain sight. The danger isn't deleting time, it's deciding who gets to remember. 51. Somewhere in America, a system clock ticked, paused, waiting. Project Echo Day had not been dismantled, only restrained, and restraint is temporary. 52. Because history doesn't like being edited, it resists, it leaks, it finds witnesses, and soon, the erased day would demand a price.